Hey there, Danielle Matthews here. I'm coming to you live from Florida. It is Monday, which means we're back to book club. and we are currently reading Wisdom Untethered, which I think this book is going to last us just years, a lifetime. It is incredible. Michael Singer, this is the fourth book of his that I've read. If you ever come down to Florida, I highly recommend going to see him speak. At Temple of the Universe, but we're on chapter 3. So chapter 1 was all about the mind, chapter 2 was all about emotions, and chapter 3 is all about the ego and our own self-concepts. This idea of ourself that isn't actually true, that we spend a lifetime like defending and getting upset over, and it leads us in all sorts of crazy directions. And I think this particular chapter, I hope it enlightens you. So if you're new to this, it's okay. You can jump into this book at any time. Any of these conversations are standalone. If you want to get the book, I recommend grabbing it. And it's one, again, you could read over and over and over again. And it's not written in a normal way that a book is written. Well, there's chapters, but it's like question and answer. So it's a Q&A situation. So these are people that are asking Mickey questions, and all of them he is kind of grouped into themes. So if you're here with me live, let me know when you arrive. If you are checking out the replay, let me know that you're on the replay, all right? But we're going to jump in. So ego and self-concept. The most persistent obstacle to your freedom is not the world outside, it's the self you've made up inside. So freedom being free from emotions, free from the way that life is happening externally, dictating how you're feeling internally, like just completely free. The ego is not who you are. It's who you think you are. It's a collection of your memories, your preferences, and past disturbances that you've wrapped around yourself like armor. So the ego mind, maybe you've heard people say like, oh my gosh, what an ego, or they have such an ego. All of us have an ego. All right. It is the accumulation of our like life experiences in this world. That has created our identity, our personality, our tendencies, our like mental habitual ways of thinking, reacting. Like that's the ego. Okay, that's what he's talking about. And he says that we have wrapped that ego in armor because we believe it is us, and our ego makes us think that it's us. All right. He says, then you spend a lifetime protecting that armor, afraid that something might get through. But what if you didn't need that protection? Hey, Charlotte. Good to see you. He says, what if you really are, who you really are doesn't need defending at all? This chapter explores your questions about the nature of the ego and the self-concepts that you've built, and it invites you to begin the profound journey of letting it all go, which can be scary because it's like this is the identity that we feel that we are, that we've held on to, that has allowed us to make accomplishments in this world and all of those things. And it's like, it gets very confusing when somebody says, you need to let go of this. It's like, it feels like an amputation. Like, well, that's me. How can I let go of that thing? And I only know the power of this because I was forced into it. In my life, up till I was 23, my ego, right, had been kind of formulated around achievements and accomplishments in this world and doing things and making things happen and being the best of the best at everything from school to work to snowboarding to all my sports. And then a car accident happened, and all of a sudden I couldn't perform in the external world, right? I had no way of showing up for work even. I couldn't earn an income. There was no way I was getting back on a snowboard. All of these things that had been wrapped around, right, that I had thought, this is me, this is Danielle, my self-image, I realized were all kind of like contents in this container. But I was so identified with those contents. Does that make sense? And once they were all stripped away by force because of what had happened with my accident, I felt so empty. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm the thing that has been there witnessing all of these experiences of life. I'm not empty at all. I'm like the fullest you can possibly be. When I realized I wasn't my ego, I wasn't my thought, I wasn't my mind, I was the thing watching them. Hey Karen, good to see you. So, anyway, I hope that can help in some way. Maybe each of you has had your own experiences, probably, if you're reading this book with me and you're aligned with these teachings and insights. They're deep, they're profound. He says, you don't have to fix the ego, you just have to stop serving it. When you do, what's left is something vast, beautiful, and free. It is your true self with a capital S. Okay, so what's the purpose of the ego? This is the first question here in the book. I think it kind of sets the stage because I've said to my spiritual teacher so many times, why do we have this thing? Like, it drives me up a wall. It makes me crazy. It causes so much internal suffering. Like, what is the point of this ego? And the ego is, by and large, like, very much needed to get us through this life. It's the thing that remembers how to speak and knows how to drive a car and all of those things. And it knows how to operate in the world. And it's very helpful. But there's pieces of it that aren't. So here we go. This is what Mickey has to say. What's the purpose of the ego? The ego is not some higher divine creation with a grand purpose. It's a defense mechanism. It was born out of fear and identification, first with the body and then with the mind, and eventually with a self-concept that you built over time. At its core, the ego exists to protect something that doesn't even need protecting, a made-up version of yourself that you've been holding on to. Use me as an example, right? This version of Danielle's the A+ student. Danielle is the one that can, get the very difficult job. Danielle is the one that will show up, even more hours than needed at work. Danielle is like the best friend and girlfriend and daughter and sister and, snowboarder and all of these things, right? This was the Danielle self-concept before the car accident, all right, before that all was taken away. So he says, that's the core. It exists, and then we start protecting it. I would have been offended if somebody said, that I wasn't good enough at my job or that I could have done better at X thing, right? Because I thought I was all of those things. But I'm not, right? I'm not, and you're not either. He said, at its core, the ego exists to protect something that doesn't even need protecting, a made-up version of yourself that you've been holding on to. The real you doesn't need defense. It doesn't. It's fine. But the ego doesn't know that. It reacts as if every word, every look, every moment of discomfort is an existential threat. You felt it inside of you, right? That person said something not right. That person didn't treat you right. That person could have done something differently. Whatever it is, you feel like something inside of you feels like, oh my gosh, this is everything because you did this. And it's like existential. Existential is the perfect word. It spends its life controlling, manipulating, and trying to ensure that nothing happens that might disturb it. So your ego is the thing trying to make everything in the external world happen and align just as you need to so that you finally feel good. Like, it's never going to happen, but the ego keeps telling you that it's going to happen in the future, right? It says, just keep doing this, just achieve this next thing, go for this goal, and you're going to have it, you're going to get it, everything's going to be good. But then when you arrive, what happens? Spontaneously, like the goalpost moves. And now you need this thing to feel good, right? It's temporary. Because the ego is giving you temporary solutions to an ongoing problem. And the ongoing problem is that you're listening to the ego in the first place, that you're not realizing that you're the thing behind it, your true self, right? That resolves the problem when you can jump to that, right? Make the quantum shift away from the ego mind and into, this presence. That's what's really needed. He says the reason the ego feels so real to you, though, is because you've been feeding it your whole life. You spend more time defending your self-concept than you do defending your actual body. Think about it. If someone says something negative about you, you feel deeply hurt, true or not true. Like, you feel it in your heart. You're like, ow, that hurt me. They were mean to me. You feel it as if it was like your actual self getting hurt. Newsflash, it's not. It's not. He says, you feel deeply hurt even though no physical harm was actually done. If someone ignores you or you feel rejected, as if you've been attacked, that is how you take it. The ego has convinced you that its survival is your survival. That is the key. That is the illusion that you're living under, that we're all like group hypnosis under. It's just not true, though. You don't need a made-up self-concept. The only reason you suffer so much is because you have identified with it. If you stop identifying with it, if you can let it go, you will realize you are stronger and bigger than anything that was like trapped inside of this little image of yourself, right? All of those contents that I thought I was, the moment I let go and I stopped striving for them and I just went, well, who am I really? And it was like, I'm the presence in this moment, interacting moment by moment. And it was beautiful. It was like the key that opened this door, and I went through this door and went, wow, this has been here the whole time. Who knew? Who knew? Hey, Lou. He says, what would happen if you stopped defending it? Just this week, just like play the game, right? This can just be a game. Don't like say, oh, I have to change my life forever. Just this week, play the game of when your ego gets offended, let it go. When you feel rejected, let it go. When something comes in your mind that makes you feel unworthy or confused or frustrated or jealous or angry, let it go. Like, just go, oh, there's my ego having a little tantrum. Don't feed into the tantrum. Let it go. Let it go. Just for a week. Like, just see what happens. Like, try out what he's saying. I do believe he has some deep wisdom. Okay? He says, what happens if you stop defending the ego? What if you stop protecting this false sense of self? At first, it's going to feel scary because you've never done it before. But the moment you begin to let go, you realize something amazing. You don't need to build these walls around yourself. Life is not against you. The ego is the thing that does the magic trick that makes every single thing that happens in life. You do the magic trick of taking it personally. Oh, that was against me. They made this rule and regulation to mess up my life. No, they didn't. Stop it. Your ego is so huge. It has nothing to do with you. It just happened, and you did the magic trick of taking it personal. Stop doing the magic trick, right? Everything is just as it is. It's not for you. It's not against you. Your ego says it is, but it's not. You are not that fragile, right? He says you're not this fragile being that needs constant defense. You're something much greater, something vast and free. The ego was just a veil. It was a mask created out of fear. Letting it go is not losing yourself. It's in fact finding yourself, right? I felt like I lost everything, but the moment I lost everything, it was like think about a pot. Maybe like I have an Instant Pot. I just cooked the dog food over the weekend, so there were sweet potatoes and chicken in there. Before that, there was lentils in there. Before that, there was, like some other soup in there. And what if the pot was so identified with the stuff in it, right? Oh, I'm spaghetti. Oh, I'm soup. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. That's the ego. It thinks it's the things inside of the container. But the moment that you stop putting things in the container or defending it or whatever, right? And this is what happened to me. All of a sudden, all the contents were removed out of my container and I felt empty. Because it would feel very empty. You look in the pot and you go, it's empty. There's nothing there. And then you realize, oh, I'm the container. I am so vast. I am this thing that can hold everything. That's what happens. And that is when you get connected into this thing that's so much bigger than anything of this world. All right, that's what we're talking about. That's what happens on the other side of the ego. But it definitely feels like you're losing yourself sometimes when you do this. Like, true or not true? Are you guys with me? Put a 5 in the chat if you're with me. High five me if you're with me. Like, these book clubs are deep. Welcome if you haven't been to one before, because it's not for the faint of heart. All right. What does it mean to let go? Oh, no, I didn't finish that part. He says, if you truly want to be free, you have to stop serving the ego. You don't have to destroy it or fight it. You simply stop feeding it. You stop giving energy to its insecurities, its endless need for validation, its resistance to reality. That is what your ego does. It resists reality. And what you resist persists. And the ego persists because you keep resisting and you are actually feeding your ego. When you don't feel validated, when you feel insecure, you're searching for all this stuff external, that's your ego, my friends. When you do that, something incredible happens if you can finally stop giving energy to all this. You become open, you become light. You start experiencing life directly without the constant interference of the voice inside of you. When that happens, you will look back and wonder why you ever thought you needed the ego in the first place. I'm telling you, once I realized I was the container, it was like, whoa. And then you're just in the present moment and life is flowing in and out. It's like flowing through you and you're just like experiencing it. It's like you're standing in this river and the river is flowing and whatever's coming, it's not for you or against you. It's just coming and you get to experience all of it as it moves through you. Right? That's it. Right? The ego is trying to like grab the things from the river that it needs and it's trying to build up walls so the river doesn't hurt it. Like, stop. You're putting all this effort into something that's insane. Truly. Good. Charlotte's with me. All right. What does it mean to let go? And how does that relate to ego and identity? Letting go is interesting because people will say, well, if I let that go, then people are going to take advantage of me. My kids are going to take advantage of me. My boss is going to take advantage of me. The people at work are going to take advantage of me. I'm going to be a doormat. That's not what happens. Okay. But listen up, because this is a good question. Your question is beautiful because it means you're starting to notice what's actually going on inside. Letting go isn't some mystical process. It's the most natural thing in the world. Right now, you hold on to certain experiences and store them inside of you. When an experience happens, instead of letting it pass through, you cling to it. Think about standing in the river, right? And things are just trying to flow through. And what are you doing? You're grabbing it all. And it was just trying to flow. And you're like, oh my God, I'm so insecure. This can't come through me. Protect me, right? That's what you're doing. Stop. He says, when experience happens, instead of letting it go, you're clinging to it. When you do that, you start to build a house out of all of this stored baggage, brick by brick, thought by thought. That house is what you call your ego. You're building this in the middle of the river of life. That's what you're doing. It's not some external entity controlling you. It's the accumulated stuff you've identified with. And the moment you let go, the walls start to fall. So it's like you're the one that's building it up. You're the one doing the magic trick. You're the one taking it all personal and feeling like you got to defend the fortress, right? Just stop. Stop building the bricks. Stop. Just allow life to flow through. Allow it to happen exactly as it's happening. All right, and it's easy. It's the easiest thing. It's way easier than building the walls and defending the walls and taking it all personally. That is going to destroy your life force energy. Just period. It just is. Okay? In business, like people do this all the time. They're pushing and all this. Like, just stop. Flow. You got to flow. All right? Why do you hold on to this house of stored thoughts? Because you think it's you. You hold on to it so tightly because you think your past is you. It's not. It's just stuff that happened. You were the container that was there throughout all the things coming in and out of it. But we attach ourselves. Oh, this traumatic thing happened to me. This terrible thing. My parents were mean to me. My first boyfriend hurt me. All of these things that happened. My siblings, whatever. Loss, someone died. These are all things that we hold on to and keep in the container. They were just experiences meant to come in and out, right? My dog's food went in and it went out. My food went in and it went out of my Instant Pot. It's the same thing for the container that's you. But the ego doesn't know. The ego holds on to all of it. It believes it's it. Okay? You built this whole self-concept based on what you like and what you don't like. That's why when life comes at you, you feel defensive. Because you're like, I like this thing, I don't like this thing. And then coming down the river is the thing you don't like. And you're like, what the hell? Why does this always have to happen to me? Life is so difficult. Life is so hard. No. Stop having a preference. Just let it come. It's going to go. It's coming and it's going. This is how it works, right? He says, if something doesn't match the identity you've created, it threatens you. That's how you feel. That's why certain things trigger you while others don't, because they hit up against something that you've stored. We've talked about this at length, about these stored emotional things in your system. We've talked about it so much. But you're not that stored stuff. You're the one watching it. You're the consciousness that sees it all passing through. When something hits your stuff and you feel a reaction coming up, that's your moment, right? That's the moment. That's the moment you can choose. Do I reinforce my ego by resisting what's coming here, or do I let go and free myself? What you resist will persist. If you can just let go, it's amazing what can happen. Like, truly, guys, it's the most liberating thing. Okay, so who's going to try it this week? I want to know if you're going to try it, because it is one thing to listen to this and go, okay, conceptually this makes sense, whatever. But then it feels so real when stuff gets hit up, when you get triggered. I mean, it is intense. You know, I was watching myself just yesterday. Like, it's a constant thing where you're like, holy cow, why am I doing this? It's exhausting. And there's your ego, right? All its defenses, and it's like nasty. It thinks like, I'm right and this is how it should be and whatever. Like, drop it. Drop it. It is so liberating. Think about the people you enjoy being around the most. They have the least amount of this ego. They've been able to connect in with that presence. They feel like a loving presence when you're around them. You can be that too. All right? Yes, Charlotte says it's a constant job. It is a constant job. Yeah, it's constant. Letting go doesn't mean suppressing or pushing things away, nor does it mean pretending you don't feel something. It means you stop resisting. Emotions will come. You don't push them down. You go, oh, anger's here. Oh, sadness is here. Oh, jealousy is here. But you don't get caught up in the jealousy, right? The moment comes, the feeling arises, and instead of tightening around it, you relax with it. That's what you do. Instead of being like, oh, I hate feeling this way, you just go, this is what's here. You let it disappear as if it were written on water. That's what real freedom is. Not controlling life so it doesn't disturb you, but getting to a place where nothing has the power to disturb you. It's coming down the river. It's flowing through you. You do no magic trick to make it personal. It just flows and it keeps flowing. That's it. Karen says, I'm working on this daily. Good. All of us are, and all of us should be, and that's what we're committed to. All right. He says, don't overthink this. Just watch. Just this week, just watch your mind. Now that you're aware of it, you're going to see it and you're going, oh my God, that's the thing he's talking about. And before you know it, you're going to be pulled up into it. But then the moment you realize it, you just come back and you go, no, let it flow through. Let it flow through. Let it flow through. Okay. Notice when something inside of you gets triggered, and instead of getting lost in it, just relax. Let it pass. You don't need to analyze it. You don't got to fix it. You don't need to make it mean anything. All you need to do is let it go. And every time you let go, you create space for something higher. Little by little, that space becomes your natural state. That's what it means to be free. It's not something you achieve. It's what's left when you stop clinging to what you are not. I was just talking, or I was in a talk this weekend with my teacher, and he was saying, look, maybe 9 out of 10 times you react, but 1 time you don't. That's good. You're creating space. Now, try for 2 out of 10 times. Now, try for 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then maybe only 1 out of 10 times. That means 9 out of 10 times, you're that presence that's allowing things to flow in and out without taking it so personally. All right, and then it just becomes the state in which you operate. That's where we're moving toward. Okay, and it's a whole lot easier than where you are right now. I promise. All right, question 3. We're on page 23. Is letting go of the ego the ultimate goal of spiritual growth? How do I handle situations where the ego drives my reactions? Your ego is driving your reactions in most situations. So you're going to find this. Now that you're aware, you're going to see it more and more and more. He says, yes, letting go of the ego is central to spiritual growth. The ego is a collection of thoughts and stored blockages that create the false self-concept. By observing the ego without reacting or suppressing it, you align with your true self, which is pure awareness. You're observing. You're becoming the container. You're like, no, I'm the container. This thing is just in here right now. It's just the thing in the river flowing through right now. I'm the one watching it. I'm the thing through which it's flowing through. I'm the one being able to enjoy the experience of it. Right? But it's not personal to me. Situations that provoke the ego are opportunities to release its influence. If you want to work on letting go of the ego, practice not always defending yourself. Let go inwardly and remain the seat of witness consciousness. It can be hard because your ego is going to be like, I need to be right. This person is wrong. I got to let them know, right? I need to just dominate. I need to control. That's your ego. And if you can just let it go. Let it go. Watch it. Witness it. Be present with it. It's like the light of awareness dissolves the thing. It's just like darkness can't exist when there's a light. Just drowns it out. Remember that when something feels personal, it's often your ego feeling attacked. So when you feel that ping, you guys know that ping I'm talking about, that like, ooh, like it hurts. You're like, duh, ouch. Somebody said something, you did a certain thing, a text message came in, whatever. And you're like, ooh, that's the moment. Like these little oohs, those are the day by day things that we can do where you realize I need to be present. This is my chance for my ego to release whatever's here that's blocked, that's getting upset by this. This is where I can open. It's where I can let go. All right. He says situations that provoke the ego are opportunities to release its influence. If you want to work on letting go, practice not always defending yourself. Let go inwardly and remain in the seat of witness consciousness. That's what we're talking about. That is the goal for this week. Remain in witness consciousness. Remember that when something feels personal, it's often your ego feeling attacked. You should practice letting go of small irritations daily. Over time, the practice will help you handle the larger challenges. Don't go lift the 200-pound weight. Lift the 2-pound weight first, right? The little irritations, your kids doing something or not doing what they said they'd do, or your partner doing something they said they were going to do and then didn't do, and then whatever. All the little things, there's a bazillion things a day that our ego gets all pissed off about. Use them, right? That's your gym. It's like going to the gym every day. Your awareness is going to the gym every day, going, oh, there's my ego again. Oh, there's my ego again. Like your awareness can get very strong because the ego is there a lot. All right. Over time, this practice is going to help you handle the larger stuff. Always take a moment to distinguish between constructive action and ego-driven reaction. Right? So am I just reacting to this? Or am I consciously seeing what's here and then making a conscious, unemotional, uncharged, energetically neutral decision? That's where we're trying to go. Even when someone's actions warrant a response, formulate that response from clarity, not as a reaction to a hurt ego. Even if someone is screaming and yelling and you feel like the only way to get back is to scream and to yell, stop, your ego is the one being offended by the screaming and yelling, you can very calmly, neutrally, without an energetic punch, say what needs saying and walk away. It's actually more powerful. It's much more powerful. An evolved being does not try to eliminate or suppress the ego, as it is a natural construct of some scars from the past. Instead, they work to release the blocked energy that sustains the ego. The process is known as transmutation. This is huge, right? You can use every moment to transmute energy. Like, this is where your magic actually lies. Rather than taking it all personal, it's going, this thing that's coming in, that's triggering me, I can transmute it to release me and connect me more deeply to source, to joy, to happiness, to the fulfillment that's inside of you. He says it involves raising the energy coming up as ego and transforming it into a higher expression, such as love, compassion, and acceptance. By observing your energy patterns and addressing their root causes, you can redirect this energy constructively. So when you get triggered and the anger comes, you can stop and you can look and you go, what's there? What just got bumped up against? Is it a self-worth issue? Is it an I'm not enough? Is it I feel like I'm going to be abandoned? Is it fear? What is the thing that got bumped up against? And then when you see that thing doesn't want to be there. It wants to be liberated. It wants to move through. It's caught. It's stuck. All right? It's knotted up. And when you see the knot, it unravels the knot. And that's a power punch of energy. That's your prana. That's your life force. And it will... When it gets unknotted, it takes you back to source. It connects you. Prana just wants to go home, okay? It wants to be reconnected in. And that is to the source of everything. That's like universal presence. That's the unconditional loving presence. That is what you get connected to. So these things that feel like the worst thing are actually, if you learn to transmute them, they're the best thing. They're what connects you in so deeply. So deeply. But you have to be willing to let go. You've got to be willing to let go of them, to realize these are not me. I thought they were me, but they're not me. This was something that was supposed to move in and out, and I held on to it, and I held on so tight, and I've wasted so much energy holding on to it so tight and defending it, and I need to just let go. Okay? He says, by observing your energy patterns and addressing their roots, you can redirect the energy constructively. This work liberates you from the limitations of ego-driven behavior and allows you to experience unconditional peace and fulfillment. It is so true when you do it. So try it this week. Try it with the little things. Then the big ones, whew, wow. All right, we got time for the last question. The last question for today, number 4. I struggle with insecurity and worry about how others perceive me. I realize that this worry is unnecessary, but I don't know how to let go of it. Who can relate to this? Right? That you have this little chatter in your head about what are they going to think, and what about this, and what about that, and what about what my parents think about this, and what about what my siblings are going to say, and what about what my kids are going to think of it, and what about what my neighbor's going to think of it, and what about my colleagues going to think about it, and what about. Michelle says, all of this triggers and frustrations so much lately. This perfect, we'll need to rewatch and replay. I have to figure out where it is. Yeah. And it's wonderful to see them. So the fact that you're seeing them, Michelle, is the key. Like, that's huge. This is a self-discovery process, not a self-judgment process. It's so if we can discover what it is that we're doing, and we're going to be able to see, oh, I'm getting triggered, I'm getting frustrated. What is that? Keep looking. There's some insecurity under there. Okay. And so this particular insecurity is about like self-worth. It's worry. I'm worrying. I know I'm worrying unnecessarily about how people are looking at me, but I'm like aware of it. So this is his recommendation. He says, your question is very poignant, and it's a very human struggle that we all share. We all share it. It happens to all of us, okay? You're not alone. The bottom line is that as long as you see yourself as separate from others and believe you are the self-concept you've created in your mind, you will continue to worry about what others think of you. If you stay involved in the ego game, you're going to continue to worry about the image of the ego and how others perceive it and experience it. It's going to be constant. All right. He says you worry about this because your self-concept is something you made up and it's easily challenged by the opinions of others. Yes. Let go of the whole model and all worries of what others think of you will disappear. The deeper you let go of yourself, the more connected you feel with everyone and everything else. The sense of other will start to fade away, and you will begin to experience that there is no difference between any other person and yourself. We are all the same, back behind the self-concepts that we have made up. This is huge, guys. Best analogy, ocean and a wave. Each of us is an individual wave on the ocean. And we become so identified with our wave, and we're comparing it to other waves. I'm bigger, I'm clearer, I've got fish in my wave, whatever. We're comparing to the other waves. And it's a struggle. The moment we realize, oh, I'm just the ocean coming up here momentarily as an expression as a wave, and all of the other waves are too. And you stop playing the game. You just like remove yourself from the game of comparison, wave to wave, and you realize we're all the ocean. And all of a sudden you have immense compassion and deep understanding for every other wave. For every other person on this planet, you start to understand them more deeply than they understand themselves. That is the truth of it. Okay, and that's what he's getting at. Does that make sense? The ocean and the wave analogy is the best one I've ever had. I have to commend Comedy Desai for giving me that one because it is the best. He says, in essence, you are not who you think you are. You're not the wave, guys. You're the ocean. By daring and be daring and decide to stop defending the self-concept you created. Let go of yourself. Every time you feel this worry of other people's opinions come up, relax and release and remind yourself that you are not your mind. You are not your heart. You are not your body. You are something very great. You are pure love and oneness. You're the ocean. You're unconditional loving presence. The love and presence of your true being is unconditional and complete. It cannot be diminished by anything. That's the truth of who you are. Nothing can impact who you are. None of it. None of it. And all of it's happening so that you realize this thing. It's triggering you to go through such difficulty that you go, enough is enough, and you go inside and you connect with being the ocean. That's what it's about. So that's what we're doing this week, okay? When you get triggered, remember this. When it's all choppy up there with all the other waves, ground down to the bottom of the ocean. That's who you really are, all right? I use meditation. I use breath work. I use so much to help me get there and remind me of this because it kinesthetically brings you there so you can experience it. It's not a concept. So if you need work on that, I do private work with that, so reach out. We will start on page 25 next week. So question 5, 6, 7, 8 will probably take us through the end of chapter 3 next week. All right, but this is the big one to play with this week. Okay, thanks for joining me, guys. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, share. Share in the Telegram group. Share what's going on. Have a wonderful week, guys.